I work as the caretaker of a serene cemetery tucked away in a quiet town. My duties involve assisting families with funeral arrangements and ensuring the peaceful rest of the departed souls. One chilly evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, I find myself amidst a solemn tranquility of the graveyard. A gentleman named Daniel, a somber figure with a troubled expression, visited me to secure a plot for his ailing grandfather. His eyes betrayed a deep sorrow, foreshadowing the imminent loss of a beloved family member. Little did I know, this encounter would set in motion a series of unsettling events. The day of the funeral arrived, shrouded in a thick blanket of fog that clung to the tombstones like a spectral veil. As the mourners gathered to pay their respects, a sense of unease settled over the cemetery grounds, amplified by the ominous atmosphere. Following the somber ceremony, I retired to my office to conclude the day's affairs. The fading light cast long shadows across the deserted pathways, and the howling wind seemed to whisper secrets among the headstones. As dusk descended into darkness, a faint rustling caught my attention, a fleeting glimpse of movement amidst the mist-shrouded graves. My pulse quickened with a mounting sense of dread as I ventured into the eerie night, my footsteps echoing against the silent tombstones. Despite my best efforts, the elusive figure eluded my grasp, disappearing into the murky depths of the cemetery. Returning to the safety of my office, I reviewed the surveillance footage, hoping to unravel the mystery that lingered in the shadows. To my dismay, the monitors revealed nothing but empty pathways and swaying branches, devoid of any trace of the spectral visitor. A chill crept down my spine as I realized that I was not alone in the graveyard's embrace. Suddenly, the heavy door of the visitation room slammed shut with a resounding echo. My heart raced as I called out into the darkness, met only by the hollow silence of the night. Through the frosted windows, I glimpsed a ghostly figure, an elderly man with hollow eyes, his presence suffused with an otherworldly aura. With a sense of dread gnawing at my soul, I recognized the spectral form as none other than Daniel's grandfather, his unsettling gaze piercing through the veil between worlds. With trembling hands, I fled into the inky blackness, the night swallowing me whole as I raced to escape the clutches of the graveyard's dark embrace. Each shadow seemed to pulse with a malevolent energy, beckoning me deeper into the abyss of fear. Safe within the confines of my home, I dare not speak of the horrors that lurked within the cemetery's hallowed grounds, for fear of awakening forces best left undisturbed. To this day, the memory of that fateful night haunts me, a chilling reminder of the unseen terrors that dwell in the darkness. My name's Sarah, and this happened one chilly October night in our small, rundown town. My friend Alex and I were bored out of our minds, cruising around town, blasting our favorite metal tunes. But as the clock struck 3 a.m., we decided to up the ante and explore the cemetery behind Old Town Square. The cemetery was massive, split into two halves by a desolate highway. We opted for the older section, its graves dating back centuries. Moss-covered tombstones loomed in the darkness as we strolled through, snapping photos and trying to decipher the faded inscriptions. Suddenly, amidst our banter, we heard it, a little girl's laugh, clear as day, echoing through the night. I brushed it off as some forgotten toy until a shiver ran down my spine. Alex claimed he saw shadows moving in the nearby woods. Unease crept over us, but we laughed it off, chalking it up to our overactive imaginations. Then it happened, the feeling of being watched, followed by the crunch of leaves under unseen footsteps. Panic seized us, and we sprinted down the hill, the laughter chasing us like a sinister melody. I've never run so fast in my life, the fear gripping my chest like a vice. We reached my car, heart pounding, only to find the back doors ajar. Dread washed over me. Neither of us had opened them. With trembling hands, we checked the back seat, finding nothing but empty darkness. The night air felt heavy as we sped away, leaving the cemetery behind. To this day, I can't shake the feeling that something lingers among those old graves, waiting in the shadows. It was a balmy summer evening when John, the prankster of our group, sauntered into our basement hangout, clutching a bottle of soda. "Let's check out that creepy cemetery across town," he blurted out between sips. The idea seemed outlandish, even for John's standards. I hesitated, but with no school the next day, the allure of adventure won me over. I knew the cemetery he referred to, the one with the eerie aura, enclosed by ancient trees and a looming, decrepit building. Underneath, the sky, veiled in swirling clouds, casting a surreal reddish tint. John parked his Honda a safe distance away from the cemetery. We tread cautiously through the woods, masking our presence from prying eyes. Vaulting over the fence, we entered the small cemetery, greeted by weathered tombstones dating back to a forgotten era. The air hung heavy, with an unspoken foreboding, and a sense of being watched settled over me like a suffocating shroud. As we explored, I caught sight of movement in the decrepit building adjacent to the cemetery. A shadowy figure loomed behind fog-stained windows, watching us with silent intent. I urged caution, but John's curiosity propelled him forward. Ignoring my protests, John advanced toward the building, uncovering a hidden entrance obscured by tangled vines. With trepidation gnawing at my insides, I followed suit, my senses attuned to the eerie silence. Inside, we stumbled upon a chilling sight, a sigil of bafflement etched into the decaying floor, surrounded by grotesque dolls with button eyes. Before we could comprehend the scene before us, a blood-curdling scream shattered the stillness, echoing through the darkness. Instinctively, I rushed to John's side, only to find him sprawled unconscious on the cold, dusty floor. A malevolent presence lingered in the shadows, its intent unfathomable and sinister. With adrenaline coursing through my veins, I hoisted John onto my shoulders and fled into the woods, pursued by an unseen menace. Panic seized us as we raced back to the refuge of John's car, leaving behind the haunted cemetery and its secrets buried in the depths of the night. To this day, the memory of that harrowing encounter lingers, a testament to the darkness that dwells among the forgotten tombstones, whispering tales of terror to those who dare to listen.